the word decent doesn't apply to me.
Not a hero, he's a criminal. Shut up!
Hey everybody, it's me, your buddy, Admiral Teague. It is really, really good to see everyone out there. There's a whole bunch of people across 3 platforms. Hello to John the Beagle Dad. Hello to Snortopopus. Hello to myself. Hey, Mr. House Party 6, what's going on? Good to see you. It's good to see everybody. Dave C is here. It's good to see Dave C. I was talking to him, DMing back and forth all day. Dave C is a good guy. We're going to entertain you all. I've got Mr. House Party 6 is cloaking and lurking. I love that. I love that. Listen, here's something I'm not supposed to say out loud, okay? So I'll just I'll write it in the comments. Ready? This is a little tip I got from Vex Electronica's mod. She didn't say it in the streams, and I wonder if she was doing that because either her mod didn't want to bother her with it, or because you shouldn't say it. But I'm going to put it in the comments. It's interesting. I think it works. I think it'll help, and I think Vex knows what she's talking about. So when I hear something from someone who's doing better than me, I listen to it. So this is what her mod was saying to people. Do that after the show if you're still around, or come back and do it. Mr. House Party 6, I don't have to ask. Mr. House Party 6 and my friend Kyle Cullen, who comes through later, they always leave a comment. If the show ends and you're still here, do that thing that I asked. Just do this thing that I asked, and it'll help me out a lot. It'll help me out a whole lot. You're already right here. Please help me. We're trying to overcome these little problems. And Thursday, still a little weird, a little rough. I may actually start doing either earlier in the day or using both channels to get my point across here on the old YouTube. But I look over at the Green Machine and not a lot of traction. And I'm looking back over my shoulder, keeping the running on first. And it looks like that right now we got what we got on the old YT. And that's cool with me. Even one person watching is more than I could expect. But in the last few shows, I have noticed a lot of people rewatching later for a little longer than even the people who watch live. Hey, Lombardi 1969 came in. Snorty, Lombardi, Dave, John, my friends, Mr. House Party, Kyle, everybody coming through later. I had a script ready to go for today, but before I do that, I'm sorry. On behalf of the state of New York, I'm sorry. Now, as you know, if you watch the member stream, I'm very proud of where I'm from, and I make no apologies about being a New Yorker, but sometimes there are other New Yorkers that I have to make apologies for. You know, a lot of people have descended into cope and have been acting just ridiculous. Just ridiculous. So this is the problem that I have. I think that there's a man who's Amy Schumer's uncle who has a prominent job, and I'll show him to you in a moment. But the thing is, not only does this man have terrible ideas, he's also kind of a stupid person. Like, he's not an intelligent person, in my opinion. He's not able to do the things it needs to do. And honestly, even the opposition, hear that? That's a Dr. Pepper opening up. You hear that? It's the taste of deliciousness. But anyway, it's one of those 23 Dr. Peppers. And I only spilled some of it. But you know what? For democracy to function, we're supposed to have an opposing system. And the idea is like the other side kind of says like, yeah, all right, we're not in charge, but we'll take this idea that you have, we'll add some of our flavor to it to make it more appealing to us. And the American people will probably like this mix of ideas better than just one side. And for that to work out, both sides have to be coming from a reasonable place, and neither side can be so extreme and entrenched that they don't do anything. So the opposition leader in our nation right now is a guy from New York. His name's Chuck Schumer. And when asked to be reasonable and asked to have an idea, now I'm not saying he's supposed to agree, right? It's his job to dissent to a point. But like at this point, after what's happened, I'm asking the people in New York, please, this man needs to be primaried out. I don't know what the hell is going on with his mind. I don't think that this is. You guys tell me that this is going to help anybody. Here we go.
We will win. We will win. We will win. We won't rest. We won't rest. We won't rest. We won't rest.
Can you please tell me who that helps? He is a silly man. That's what I'm saying. You know what? I'm tired of the people who go, you know what? If you are of the opposition party, like the country needs you to be on your game and present an opposition that makes sense. And I'm not saying I'm with the opposition. I'm saying, look at this failure by this fucking idiot. Yeah, broke a hip. I think he broke his brain, and I think I lost monetization. But that's okay, because I set it on that other weird setting where I'm supposed to be the one who, like, fourth and longs the ads. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I don't really particularly plan on doing it, but I might just, like, fire one off to see how it happens, because I don't understand this setting. It's, you know what, I'm still learning too. I just know that if I don't list this with the AdSense on, good question, Lombardi. If I don't list this with the AdSense on, they won't tell you guys that I'm coming. They won't turn on the light for me. There are more people now than we've had in, like, last show did great. The last 3 shows have done great. The first couple of weeks, like, really rough. This is kind of Thursday, you know, I can be here by myself a little more and it can be fun. I plan on having more guests in the future. I don't know if Thursday will be a day that I'll share. Definitely be a day like, I'm Ozzy, right? I'm Ozzy. Sometimes I'm part of Black Sabbath, like on Saturday nights, and sometimes I have to bite the head off a bat to make up for the fact that it's just me. But you know what? I'm going to come here and, do my best, and I'm going to be prepared. And be prepared. This is something that this man should know. Look, this is really easy.
Win. We will win. We will win.
So he has a 3-word slogan.
We will.
Now I know how he thought that Biden was able to continue. Maybe he wasn't just pretending he thought that the guy was okay. Maybe he can't tell. I mean, look at this again. Just look at this.
We will win. We will win. We will win. We won't rest. We won't rest. We won't rest. We won't rest.
I would say he's condescending, but that's too much of a compliment. He's just sort of forming into a wet, moist cloud and dripping on us. He's condensating on us. And I want to say, like, this is not the way to be the opposition. If we don't have a reasoned opposition where the guy's awake and alive in his mentally, we don't have any government. You know, it's time for the people who didn't win to stop with being so unreasonable. What we need to do now is come up with something that works for everybody. And I was just embarrassed by this display as a New Yorker. Chuck Schumer should be ashamed of himself. It was a 3-word slogan that he couldn't remember. So, I mean, that's my word on news and current events of the day. We could try something new because we've been doing all right. And you know what? The Yellowstone videos have just been doing incredible. I thank you all for that. I still wish you guys would go back and rescue rescue what do you call it? My video for yesterday's Enterprise. It's pretty good. So the first thing that I guess I got for you is Brandon Sklenar as Nova. I do not know what to tell you about this one. I love Brandon Sklenar's work. Brandon Sklenar is Spencer in Yellowstone 1923, and a lot of us watched this story together. It was a really good story. He was as compelling as the other actors, and he was the only person who didn't have the great actors on screen with him as far as his story was isolated. He and Alex are major cast members, so I guess you could say she had the same problem he did because they're in the same story together and they have the same challenges, but Spencer and Alex didn't have the advantage of having other people in there helping them out. You didn't have a scene with Harrison Ford. You didn't have a scene with Helen Mirren where they could, use their great acting and get you, to another level. And some of that stuff really was great. And Harrison Ford used to be a great actor.
Dare you?
No, Harrison, it's true. You slipped a little bit in the last few years, but I do think that in the last couple of performances I've seen, suddenly Harrison Ford has been a little bit better. Now, I think it was Film Threat that said the reports are that he's broke, and that's why he's trying a little harder, and that's why I guess he's gotten to a point where it's like, we don't get this that much anymore.
I don't care.
Because that was Harrison Ford in the mid-2000s as far as, like, the teens. It's like showing up in these movies, and he's just like, he's this Harrison Ford that we don't recognize.
I don't care.
He's this Indiana Jones last year that we don't recognize.
Almost got away with it, didn't you?
No, you didn't come close.
I don't care.
That's more like it. And as far as Harrison Ford, you know what?
How dare you?
It was terrible. It was a farce. It wasn't enjoyable in the least. And I don't think that Harrison Ford has had a good performance until 1923, where he's great. In 1923, he's great. They asked Helen Mirren about it, and Helen Mirren recently said that she thinks what happens is he's gotten to a point where he doesn't feel he needs to be cool anymore, and he lets people into his vulnerability, and he shows us more about himself. But that's Harrison Ford now. By the way, this day in history, what happened? Whoa, you know what? We had Mussolini firing his son-in-law in 1943. Talk about nepotism gone wrong. Tennis great Arthur Ashe died of AIDS. I saw him speak. He spoke at orientation at my college. That's a long time ago now, but I remember him. The Dalton Gang committed their first train robbery in 1891. I mean, isn't this a little late for train robberies? And 1937 Of Mice and Men is published. Tell me about it, Of Mice and Men, George. And hello to Buddy Hepburn. And hello to Radioactive. It's good to see you. Yeah, I saw that everyone was calling it Diaper of Dysentery. I guess I should get on board with that. Honestly, it is terrible. It was a terrible, terrible movie. I took a few shots at it. Chuck Schumer doesn't like it either. Hey, Chuck, what do you think of the movie?
We will win. We will win. We will.
Yeah, okay. Go back to bed, Grandpa. What the hell is going on with that? Look, I'm not saying that we're all always going to agree with the opposition party, but can we not have clowns? Can we not have clowns? Would that be enough to ask? Can we have, again, like they say in the movie Goodfellas, like a clown for your amusement, Oh, Buddy Hepburn, thank you very much. It looks like people are understand. And by the way, you look great in green, buddy. You really do. The wrenchings. It was guys. I'll be honest. It had to be done. It was YouTube bad practices. Ever since I did it the other day, it's been adding people onto the channel. It must have been a disincentive. People also assume that mods get an incentive to begin with. On my channel, I was giving wrenches for loyalty and giving wrenches to creators so that I didn't have to shout them out. If you're a creator I will still shout you out. I will still shout you out. People who fought in the battle of 12/7/24, I tried to leave most of you your wrenches. Radioactive is sometimes a co-host here. He needs a wrench. And Radioactive's been right. A few people, and more than a few people, have said to me, it doesn't look great, and it discourages people. So thank you for saying hi to people. Thank you for being more friendly, and just not taking these wrenches for granted. If something happens that I'm not aware of, I can't give the best show if I'm always looking over my shoulder all the time. So I appreciate you guys upping your game and doing it for me. It's deeply, deeply appreciated. So that's what happened today in history. And then I got another one for you. Who remembers a show called Giant Mansion in the Little Valley? You probably wouldn't, because there was no such show. But if you were to think back to 1974 to 1984, there's a show called Little House on the Prairie. It was sort of like the reverse of Happy Days. It was like really, really far in the past. No one was cool, and it happened almost exactly 80 years before. Charles Ingalls had a telephone and no money. What was up with that? They were always talking about how he had to do extra work, risk his life, and do dangerous stuff so that he could, do these things that he needed to do. And you know what? He never managed to pull it off. And hey, Jason Love, good to see you. You know what? He was never able to pull off feeding the family without his wife having to pitch in. His daughter had to start working right away until she lost her sight. And then the other daughter's out there scrapping away. And then eventually he loses the Little House on the Prairie anyway. Remember that last season where he just lives in San Francisco with the son and there's no other cast members in anything but maybe one episode, if that. But it's, yeah, guys, you're doing great. Thank you for hailing people. Thank you so much. And it's really important because here was the deal. We're down to like 15 or 18 mods now, and that is still more than Culture Casino, who has 30,000 people. So now that we're up to 2140, as long as you guys hang in there, soon we'll have enough to wrench up a bunch more people. But here's the deal. If you have a wrench or if you're in contact with me, I'll extend you channel privileges to the level you're at or the next level up. Right now, the channel does everything together anyway because it's pretty small, and I appreciate all the people who have contributed the gift memberships. I hope some of the people on the gifties decide to stay. I realize that cranking out a whole bunch of member videos to show you I appreciate you is not exactly, the most conducive way. So here's what I did. I made one. I make them on Wednesdays. They're like 3 to 6 minutes long. I found out a couple of things about how to make them. If you're a member, watch this last one. It's a good one. It's my origin tale. I'll think you'll like it. Hail to you, Jason Love. it's good to see you. You like being a little bear in the puddle. See, Snorty, you are one of the greatest chatters and, an aristocrat, an aristo chatter. You know what? I think I just coined a new term. There are Aristo Chats on YouTube. And if the Aristo Chats like coming to your channel, you know what? You can just count on them to be there. There are people who just, they bring a lot with them. They have a lot to say. They're fun. They're funny. And I'm always glad to have you. And everyone here is, in my mind, an Aristo Chatter. I love you guys, and I love that you hang out with me. And you know what? The more the merrier. There's more Aristo Chatters, and you know what? It's like celebrities in the chat. I know I feel good when I see a lot of my friends in streams like DC's or Culture Casinos. And then, everyone shouts me out, and I'm shouting that back. And unless I'm on my phone, where I can't do any shouting out at all. But hey, I wrote the script for this story, so let's read The Little House on the Prairie story. And then we'll return to your chats in a moment. Oh my gosh, Jason Love has been a member for 1 month. Yeah, F the Little House remake. And we have the Star Trek Defiance emoji. It can't translate my emojis, but go ahead and use them if you want. I don't think it costs you in the character count. I think every emoji is 2 characters, though. Keep that in mind. And it's good to see you keeping in here with me. Radioactive, thank you for being a member for a month. That means you renewed. I really appreciate it. It gives me some certainty. This was about the largest the channel's been. I don't think we ever made it. Like right now, we do have like 90 people. And like that'll change next month. And that's life. But you know what? Like some of you who will stay, and for those of you who get to pass through, like a lot of people, if you leave the gift membership on, it means that you enjoy going on a little trip. I'll make it worth your while. I'll make you see stars, and you'll stay subbed to the channel. You'll be inclined to tell people good things about the channel, and maybe one day down the line, when you think about joining the channel, this will be the one you join. But you know what? For now, let's get on. Let's talk about this story. Melissa Gilbert, who played Laura Ingalls Wilder in Little House on the Prairie from 1974 to 1984, talked about Netflix's upcoming reboot of the series. Now, she was initially planning to stay quiet, but she had a little chat with Megyn Kelly, and she criticized Megyn Kelly criticized the reboot for potentially wokeifying it. Now, here's where I think we have two people divided by a common language. I honestly think that we have the American language, and when I say the American language, they say we speak English. I say this all the time. We speak American. If you think about it, though, it's more than just a kind of a fun joke. It's sort of true. Like we also speak in jargon, yo. You know what I'm saying? We speak in jargon. And why is that top chat? It should be live. I hate. We should be able to filter later. I want the live chat. See every single thing that's going on out there. Hello, Alternative World Sorcerer Dan. It's really good to see you. Welcome to the show. It's my friend Sci-Fi Sith Dan. And you know what? Little House on the Prairie, this is where I think they start to get divided by their interpretations of the word. Because I guess Melissa Gilbert, I believe, is adopted, as is Sarah Gilbert, which is why they do not look alike, but they are sisters, or at least one of them is adopted. Now, whether they're both adopted, who knows? Gilbert called Kelly's comment ignorant when Kelly said that she didn't want a wokeified Little House on the Prairie, and her thing was that Gilbert's thing was that the original already tackled stuff like narcissism, addiction. I saw a couple of addiction episodes. They did a good job on that. I'll be honest. Guardian struggles, anti-asceticism, and abuse. And she wonders if anyone really understands woke, a term she sees as meaning compassion, a concept she finds universally positive. Well, that's where I disagree. I don't know what the word woke means anymore. I don't know if any of us do. I can tell you the history of the word woke in modern usage, right? Yeah, you know what, Jason Love, you're right. You own the originals on DVD. I know a lot of people who loved the original. I used to watch it, and as a youngster, a real youngster, remember, like I'm probably a little younger than Missy Gilbert, but like I thought that Nellie Olson was hot. Remember, she was older than me when I was watching the show, right? So I was like, man, Nellie Olson makes me like think that like she's hot, and I think that's why I ended up liking, or that's when we first found out that I liked meanish kind of women, because Nellie Olson, not the nicest, the original Mean Girl. But you know what? This is where we have to wonder, and I wonder if I should make a poll about this one. Do we know what the word woke even means? And by that, I'm saying, when we talk about this word woke, right? It means progressive, but it doesn't mean progressive in a way that we support anymore, right? Because we're all heroes in our own story. If asked if we're progressive, we're going to say, yeah, we're of course I'm progressive, no matter what your point of view, because the idea is that in life you would have an outlook that would progress over time, and that what you thought was reasonable in 1990 wouldn't be what you think was reasonable necessarily 100% of the time in 2025. It's just how it works, right? Melissa Anderson is the older sister. She was a cutie too. She was much older. I'm saying like Melissa Gilbert's older than me. That's what I'm saying. I think I'm the same age as Necrotic, and I think that means all of us are the same age as Alyssa Milano. Don't quote me on that one now. Yeah, you know what? Bears would rather sleep than be awake. I would ask this: we're going to ask you guys a question. Does there need to be harm for it to be woke? Because I don't disagree with I disagree with her on compassion, right? All right, so here's the thing. Okay, I'm gonna start a poll. I have a pretty well formulated question that I think will work. Sorry guys, I'm typing away while I'm talking, which is not easy to do. You sometimes end up typing the words that you're speaking, and that doesn't help at all. I'm almost there. Don't worry, guys. I'm sure there'll be some misspellings, but I'll read it once I post it, and then we'll figure it out. All right. All right. So I'm gonna put a definition of woke here. I worked it out I worked out the best definition I could that makes sense. It'll work on both levels. Does there need to be harm? And if it's TV, movies, IP theft for something to be woke? That's the question. And your choices are yes, no, and these are all but not part of woke. The poll's live now, and I hope that you'll enjoy taking part in it. I hope that you guys can jump in there and think about it. I hope it's a thought-provoking question. I hope it gets a lot of responses because, hey, that helps me out, and that's part of being a good and interactive host. It looks like, is X coming online? I'm looking over my shoulder down to first base. The runner is still on. It looks like we have a little bit of activity over on the green band, and wow, are things ever going great on YT for the first time in a while, as we just seem to have people lined up left and right. You know what? Verging on the double digits, not bad for a lone host. A lone host. So there is some voting going on right now. We got about as many people over on X as we do on YT, and we got a third as many on Bumble. I call it Bumble because every time they seem to be ready to move on and do something better, they find a way to double back and do something dumb. And by something dumb, I mean like bad, like real dumb. But anyway, we'll talk about that later. So here we go. Um, so Gilbert, to her, she's like, look, the show tackled a lot of issues. That part's true. Gilbert says that, she wonders if anyone understands the term woke. And that's the part that I think she's right on. Wondering if we understand it. Because I don't think we have a grip on it, because the word comes boomeranging back out of the past in the 2015 cycle. So here we go. The next thing she says, I don't know if it's true. She thinks the word woke means compassion. I don't see it that way at all, so I didn't even put it in the poll. And she finds the concept of compassion universally positive. I agree that compassion is very, very positive. So she supports the reboot. Now, I don't know if she's in it. Acknowledging the original's flaws, which makes me think that she probably is in it. Like casting people who weren't of the type that they played, which to me is weird and means that, at this point, I don't know. I just don't know as far as with the Guardian roles. Do you have to be a Guardian to play a Guardian? You tell me. She wants more authentic representation. She wants Guardians to play Guardians, and she wants the Ingalls Doctor to be black. But I believe he's a character from the books. There are books. This Little House thing isn't a TV only idea. There are books. There are books that took place in 3 locations that she actually went around and sort of like combined into one story. But there were books for this story. And wherever you are, please feel free to jump over to YouTube for a moment to at least take our poll as we take a look at this story about Missy Gilbert. And so she wants some of the book characters to do so we're black, and she's open to a reinterpretation like Little Women. Okay, I haven't seen any interpretations of that one. Now, in her own life, it's been kind of eventful. I mean, can we remember she was engaged to Rob Lowe for 6 freaking years? And even including up to, and I think for a while after, his infamous scandal. Remember that one where he went to the Republican convention and he got in trouble because he was hanging out with people who pay to play, so to speak. He was paying to play. And, she's faced her own personal struggles. She's been through addiction and also like a brief congressional run, that'll turn a withering beam on you, huh? What can I tell you? Her candidness and resilience shine through, and that's the genuine part about her that people like. So she defends the reboot's potential, and she thinks it might evolve. Does any, I don't know. And we'll talk about that one for a minute, and we'll do Buffy next. But here's my thought on the word woke. I'm going to go with it. I'm going to try to define the indefinable. Okay, let's see. Alternative world sorcerer Dan says, woke in the political was meant to point out that social and political problems try to solve the problems, but wow, woke is all of victim blaming, power, money. You might have it right on the modern term. Let me think on this one for 1 second while I try to formulate you the best possible answer. I need my best man on this. Harrison, do me a favor. Can you just, can you check this out for a second?
Enhance 15 to 23.
Thank you, Harrison. That was very helpful. You know what? The word woke, if you read books like On the Road by Jack Kerouac and stuff like that, they're like, he was a woke daddy-o. And then other people are claiming it goes to other communities, like maybe it might be the black community's word. This is the interpretation as I came to know it. It's my personal experience. Because no one knows what this word is, we just know we don't like what it stands for. And, some people are like, oh, yeah, I do like what it stands for. But, do we know? Do we know? So here's the best I can come up with. The word woke was somebody who was kind of a hep cat. Honestly, think hep cat, like, hey, daddy-o, like a beatnik, right? Like if you were the kind of person who liked to smoke weed and go to jazz clubs in a Kerouac book, you were a woke daddy-o. Right? So that word just kind of stays in usage and gets replaced by cool. Like he's woke. Oh, no, he's cool. It's like that word gets replaced. So woke becomes archaic, right? It's archaic slang. So woke becomes archaic 1948 to 1962 slang. Like the Beatles probably said woke a couple of times before they started smoking weed and found out the word cool, or came through America and brought the word cool with them. I don't know. But like, two words that changed are like woke and cock. Cock got replaced by dick because of Nixon's struggles, I heard. So then, woke becomes this dormant word that no one uses for a really long time. Fast forward. 2015, book salesperson and feel-good guru weirdo crystal salesman person, she is just a wacko. What was it? Marianne Williamson. She writes like self-help books. Think like Deepak Chopra, but dumb. Like dumber. Dumb. Like real dumb.
How dare you?
Because I think it's dumb. But like, think dumb on this one. Think dumb. So Marianne Williamson, what she does is every 4 years she runs for president so that she can do a book tour. And then she can run a political fund and she wouldn't have to pay any taxes. And also, like, maybe if she does well enough, she might get Secret Service protection. And what happened was she threw all politics into a shambles when she pulled out this word. And what happened? It was about something that happened in another country. At an early debate in 2015, when there were still a lot of people at the table, book salesman Marianne Williamson was asked the question, what would you say to the Prime Minister of New Zealand, Jacinda Ardern, who said that they would take away all the guns in the country? And the response from Marianne Williamson, book guru, was, I would say, sister, you are so woke. And people were like, ah! And that was the birth of the word into our political language now. Mark my words, it was out of use and archaic until 2015 when this weird lady brought it back. So that's the word woke. So isn't that something? Right? Dick Nixon before he dicks you. Tricky Dick. That's like the best political nickname, right? Woke just might not make Little Crack House in the Ghetto. Why not just make Little Crack House in the Ghetto and stop the remakes of other shows while attempting to engage in revisionist history? Yeah, because they're rebooting it, I think it would be terrible, right? Because I think there's material if they wanted to do a continuation of the story. There's material up until like maybe the 1920s. Ingalls Wilder makes it past World War One. I think there's photographs of her that look fairly. She didn't look very decent. Laura Ingalls Wilder was woof woof, but there were photographs of her, and maybe she was real old by the time that's the pictures. I don't know. I forget. Let's see if I can find a photograph of Laura Ingalls Wilder, and watch it come back as. Oh yeah, no, there's the real Laura Ingalls Wilder. All right, so in this picture, not so bad looking, but better than I remembered. But I'll show you Laura Ingalls Wilder. Here you go. This is the real Laura Ingalls Wilder right here. Uh, let's see if I can get a better image of her. Here we go. All right, so that's Laura Ingalls Wilder. Here you go. Whatever. I thought she was worse looking. It's on me. I'm an istophobe. You should fight me on this.
We won't rest. We won't rest.
It's three goddamn words.
We won't rest.
I believe real life Laura lived to the 50s. I think you're right. Jacinda, BoJack Horseman, I don't see the difference. That BoJack Horseman was like, well, what if the troops are jerks? And is that several doctors that we have, Jason? Several different doctors there? Is that Pertwee? It's weird. Like Neurotic said it, like some of us are older than Pertwee was, and people just like, he looks old as shit, and like we look great by comparison. Yeah, what is with this guy?
We will win. We will win. We will win. We won't rest. We won't rest. We won't rest. We won't rest.
Chuck, rest. Get some rest. Figure out what the hell you're talking about. What the hell is that about? We will win. We won't stop. We will fight. It doesn't, Chuck, if I'm going to call out other YouTubers for having no plan, for sure I'm going to call your ass out. I mean, come on. You live in South Dakota? That's pretty cool. That gets a mention in Yellowstone. It's, as you know, Montana's right there. I have to say, I have been living mentally there for a lot of these Yellowstone shows, and it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Let's take a quick look at Montana. Let's take a little look at Montana. Let's visually see it. When the actors did this scene, it was 21 degrees below zero.
The word decent doesn't apply to me.
I love Timothy Dalton. I love him.
Because I can.
Is that strobing a little? It's weird when sometimes the StreamYards doesn't work as well as playing a file right across. That looked a little. It was like it had slurred speech. Swishy Schumer is getting caught. Is he about to get caught? I wouldn't be surprised. And his niece is about to be exposed as being like chronically unfunny. Will Amy Schumer's career go away now that there's no more USAID? I don't know. It's a pic from the DVD of the three doctors, Hartnell, Troutman, and Pertwee. Okay, most prominently. You know what? I've been trying to catch up on those earlier Doctor Who's. The first one in America, we only know Tom Baker. So, I love how Supernatural thinks it goes to Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I love how Supernatural thinks goes on in Supernatural, the YouTuber, or the show Supernatural. You have to clarify, because now there's one of each, right? It's like that's Hypnotic. Do you mean like Hypnotic the sensation, or Hypnotic the YouTuber? And wow, hats off to Hypnotic. What a wild and insane week he has. Every time I go over there, there's like 800 people watching, and concurrent people watching. That's something I wanted to address. One thing I wanted to say, I've said it before, that I've never done. I've never bought any technology to increase the sub count, and I have never ever bought boosting subs or bought subscribers that lurk, or subscribers, well, the lurkers we saw was an attack. I've never bought the passive accounts and subscribe to your show and then never show up. My engagement is about what it should be for a channel this size. Other channels, I see some things that leave me gobsmacked. I see a chat that looks about the same as mine, but it says there's 30 freaking people there. Then after their show, there's like 500 like views, and it slowly spins down to like 480, and only people stumbling on it like drives it back up because it looks like it's the actual movie and not a review of it because it wasn't that well labeled. You know, I wonder if some people might. We saw them publicly thank the Botmaster, and I'm friends with the Botmaster. You know, like, he's a nice guy, but, you know, they sell that technology, and I have never, ever, I would never, ever pay for that, and I would never, ever want that to happen to my channel. And if you look at the people who bought it, it's been nothing but a disaster for them. It has been a disaster for the people who have 7,000, 8,000 subscribers and have like 4 people at their live stream. There's one channel with 3,300 subscribers that has 26 people have watched their introduction video that plays automatically when you go there. So who's watching these channels? Some of those shows have 16, 18 views. Now, as far as me, I've got a worldwide audience. By tomorrow, these shows, if we keep them to the right length, they'll develop some after viewing. And the people who view later view for longer times than the people who watch live by a little bit. I think it's because people rewatch what they missed, and then other people watch the whole show. So if you're re-listening, I thank you. And if you're coming through for the first time, welcome. Here's story number 2. Buffy. Who's a fan of Buffy? I saw the movie in theaters a zillion years ago. Let's see, we got 9 votes. Wow. Does there need to be harm? And if a TV movie's IP theft for something to be woke? 22% of you agree with the question on yes. 33% no. 11% are, see, that makes it 33 because these are part but not all of woke. I think everyone understood that. And then 33% of you were nice enough to interact and like the stream. That really, really helps me out, and I can't thank you enough for doing it. Keep the polls coming in. Keep voting. Vote early, vote often, and I thank you for that. Back here in the StreamYard's control room, I would say that it's time for me to look at our next story, which is Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Let me just take a little star here on that chat. And how shit goes from TV show Supernatural is far from famous to... Okay. How shit goes and the TV show Supernatural. As for most famous YouTubers, I wouldn't know. It would definitely be the other anytime. Roger Delgado, still your favorite master. Okay. You don't want to see the remake of Buffy. I think people all feel the same, especially when I looked at one very important thing that we'll bring up. Buffy the whatever. I love that. The whatever. I believe I heard it will possibly be a continuation. Yeah, it has to be because it's going to have her, right? Delgado was the master. Yeah, I think he was. There's my favorite Time Lord is the curator because he's a doctor for a while and then he becomes the curator. Does anyone know who this mighty Time Lord is? Who plays him? I guess it's the only way to put it because I think I know which doctor he is. The first actor to play the master. The master's like, he's another Time Lord, right? Okay, so here we go. I wrote this story, so you're going to have to listen to me read it. I will return to the chats in one moment. Say hi, mods, to people who come in while I'm gone, and thank anyone who throws up a member chat until I get a chance to get back and look at it. So here we go. Does anyone believe Buffy the Vampire Slayer can succeed without Joss Whedon? I don't. I just don't. The news of a potential reboot feels bittersweet. Sarah Michelle Gellar recently shared on Instagram that a revival is in development, but only if we know we can do it right. She recounted how 3 years ago, executive producer Gail Berman and Nomadland Chloe Zhao approached her with a vision for the project. Though initially skeptical, believing the show didn't need to return, Gellar was moved by their passion. Alongside writers Lila and Noah Zuckerman, they've been crafting an idea that honors the original show while showing promise, they say. Gellar emphasized her commitment to fans ensuring the reboot would only happen if it meets her expectations. She's got some dough, so maybe this happens, right? I think she has enough to maybe tell them to take a walk. She hasn't been out there desperately looking for work. We know that. She expressed gratitude for the talented team, whatever, and she also thanked all the Buffy fans. And reports suggest Hulu is nearing a pilot order, and Zhao will be the director. That's the thing that worries me here. Here's the catch also. Joss Whedon is the creative force behind Buffy's 7-season run and spin-off Angel. And, we all know I love I love the show Bones. And, we see David Boreanaz, I believe, is on that one too, right? Isn't he Booth? But 7-season spin-off Angel isn't involved due to past allegations of misconduct. All he did was yell at people and act like a dick and fire somebody, wrongly. If he is only there via Skype, you could turn him off. I think he should be involved more. Well, his absence might be necessary. It's not. It's hard to, it's like without his storytelling, his wit, and his character depth, they were integral to the show. So without him, will it even feel like Buffy? I'm skeptical. It might have potential, but Whedon's absence leaves a void that might just be impossible to fill. I'll give it a chance. Anyone else going to give it a chance? Let me know what you think. Back to your comments. As for most famous tubers, I would know. It would definitely be Every Other Time. Still your favorite master. Won't see the. I don't want to see a remake of Buffy. Let the ancient memories simmer. Yeah, it's like the great stories, Mr. Snorty. The ones that really mattered. Yeah, exactly. Tom Baker was the great curator. Exactly. He was like, and that's where we kind of got the indication that the curator is like the Sixth Doctor. Is that who he is? Right? Six. Is that right? The Buffy movie I liked better than the TV show too. Wow, isn't that something? I didn't mind Sarah Michelle Gellar, but she looks even younger than she is all the time. Even now, it might be paying off now, right? She probably looks great for like 45 or whatever she is. Probably looks like she's 30, but. Delgado was the first master. The curator is Tom Baker. Yes, who knows? It does sound like a cash grab, and I'll tell you why I'm worried in a moment. The master is a fellow rogue Time Lord and greatly desires domination of the universe and power. Also driven insane as a kid from being shown the raw power of time and space. I remember the count thing. Yes. I'm going to probably cancel my sling this month for a month because I won't need it to watch the Super Bowl. Delgado died in a car accident filming another TV show. Oh, that's sad. John said one, if not the main reasons he moved on with Doctor Who was Roger's death. Well, you know what? Honoring him, right? Like Harrison Ford says he's doing as the Red Hulk. But a little more skeptical on that one, right? So, I don't know. I'm deeply skeptical about the Buffy thing because we got Zoe Zhao or whatever, Zhao. I don't know how to say it. I'm not going to pretend I know what the hell is going on here, but I'll show you a quick picture of Chloe Zhao. Here she is. I think you can see it. There you go. Now, I don't know how much of this video is copyrighted, so I'm going to move on from Chloe and the photograph of the Eternals premiere. Oh, wow. I'm sure. What a great idea that was, huh? The Eternals. Chloe Zhao, or Zhao Ting, born March 31st, 1982, is a Chinese director, screenwriter, and producer. Her debut film, Song My Brothers Taught Me, 2015, premiered at the Sundance Film Festival. Her second feature film, The Rider, 2017, was critically acclaimed and received several accolades, including nominations for the Independent Spirit Award, blah, blah, blah. All right, so she was born and raised in Beijing. I don't know. So she's supposedly doing the Buffy thing, but listen to this crap she did. The Eternals? The Eternals. And nothing else that I've heard of. Post, The Atlas Mountains, Daughters, Banakin. Sounds like some kind of like cure for a rash. Songs My Brothers Taught Me, never heard of it. Director. The Rider, never heard of it. Director. Nomadland, never heard of it. The Eternals, whoa, wish I'd never heard of it. A Clydesdale's Journey, is that a Budweiser commercial? It is a short. And Diablo 4, Saviors Wanted. I guess it's a video game. She did the story. She did the story for Diablo 4. Yeah. Yeah, it does look like it's a video game. Released, yeah, May 25th, 2023. This is, yeah, that's what I thought it was. So there she is again, Chloe Zhang. And it's just, I don't know what to tell you on this one. It's so strange. But here we are back in our StreamYard studio where I'll be sharing your chats again. Yeah, I don't know what to make of it. It's weird, right? I don't have a lot of confidence in this project. I don't think that we can do Buffy the Vampire Slayer without Joss Whedon, and I don't think that anybody wants to particularly see it. I don't see how it would be a good show. Like, it's not that entertaining. It's, the idea of doing it, first of all, it worked better as a movie than it did on TV, even though a TV show is a good TV show. So it had already been nerfed once, and now we're going to put an inferior director on it. That's worrisome. That's worrisome. Now, I guess the next thing we could talk about is the kooky Captain America movie. What is with this kooky Captain America movie? What is with this thing? It bothers me. It bothers me. Do we have to sell Captain America as Captain on America? Yeah, we got Sydney Sweeney up there on the screen. Yeah, we got Sydney. You know what? I made sure to get the best parts of Sydney in there. There's aspect ratios you have to obey to do this, and I did my best on it. What can I tell you? Sydney is gorgeous. Maybe how can I do this? Nope, that doesn't work. That might be just about the best. But I appreciate all you guys for being here. It's a fun time. And you know what? I know that for my own self, when I get to hang out with you guys, it is really cool. And I'm gonna ask you guys a question. I think we need to look at the woke poll first, because I might be asking you guys a simple yes/no question. So let's take a look. All right, the woke poll has 10 votes. Do you think that there needs to be harm, and if it's TV and movie and IP theft? And if TVs and movies IP theft for something to be woke? Yes, 20%, no, 40%. These are all but only part of woke, 10%, and 30% if you were nice enough to like the stream. That's not too scientific, but it was an interesting question. I would propose that there needs to be some harm. But here's what I'm going to ask you guys. I'm considering this. I'm not going to say this poll is binding. But you can see where it's going. If I wanted to, I could see this day one, and that's what I would try. If I do this, I'm going to try to do it day one, because there's no way that it's relevant any other way, right? Got to do it day one. No, 100% right away. Here's the thing. The troll review might be funny. But yeah, I don't personally want to see it. Back to work for a moment. Back to woke for a moment. You know what? With things like woke, I just want to say, I do think there needs to be some harm for something to be woke. And here's why. If it's not harmful, it's just annoying, right? Like woke, if we don't want to overuse the word, and I'm not saying that you're wrong to use it. I'm saying, like, to define it, try to nail this one down. Harm does not need to be physical, like degrading an IP. And theft, like, what woke idea is original? Where's your original woke idea that started out that way? Sorry, guys, I had a little coughing to do, but where's your woke idea that started out that way? That's always been that way. All these woke IPs, the worst ones, they're stolen, right? Disney's basically stolen. Well, they paid money for it, but you know what I mean? Like, the people who got it, they inherited it. Like J.J. Abrams with Star Trek. Star Trek, it's not his. It's kind of IP theft because they're not doing it the right way. And he doesn't care about the old fans, and he doesn't care with what they like, so he's going to do it all weird and bad. Hang on a second. I got a cough again. I'm sorry. Wow. Okay, well, I'm sorry, guys. I think I had my sinuses properly cleared, so you won't have to listen to it. Hats off to all my other fellow Northeast YouTubers. It's been so cold for so long. Today was like a sort of balmy 38 degrees. What can I tell you? That's what passes for warm right now. I'll be looking forward to it when we get to, spring. And hello to everybody watching. Thank you all so much. We're talking about the word woke, and we're talking about whether I should see Captain America. Wow, is it because you don't want to support the movie? Or is it because you feel bad for me? Or because you have no interest in it? Because we all know I do a great review. And the thing is, do I want to see this movie? Meh, not really. But are the seats priced to sell? I mean, how many other times do you go to a theater? I could probably do heroin in this theater and no one would know or care. Not that that's something I do regularly, but I could probably do heroin in this theater and no one would ever know. I saw, I think, was it either Picard or The Mandalorian? One or the other. It was a season no one cared about. They put it on they put it in theaters, and it was free. When they put it in the theater, I went to go see it, and it was free. So that part was great. But the part that sucked was, I think it was Kenobi, or was it Picard 3? Both were in theaters. I mean, if it's in theaters for free, it's in theaters for free in New York, which, whatever. At least we catch a break on something. But this is what you get what you paid for, right? You got Picard 3 still. 6 votes. Nobody wants me to see it. Wow. I'll give it a little more time, but wow, emotions running super high on Captain America. Everyone's just done with that one. But let's see. Oh, yeah. Oh, God. We're talking about this one? The Cap movie? Let's see. Yeah, does he look like his father? It would be great to see him maybe. Did he? Well, they're not honoring this story anymore, so we probably won't get to see him, right? Yeah, the Eternals was so freaking stupid, and that was a combat scene, that little fight scene with Angelina Jolie where she's doing whatever, that sucked. All the martial arts in that movie essentially sucked. It was really bad. And let's see. Everyone's agreeing, and everyone loves Sydney Sweeney. Captain Communism. I was upset by what he said. I think we're all upset by what he said. The more you listen to it, the less you're able to square it up. He seems to know it. He moved on from apologizing, which is the only thing he could do because it just wasn't working out with the apology, right? Here we go again. Hold on, guys. See, he's expressing a harmful idea, and his behavior is woke because he's extending harm. Here we go with the woke thing, right? This is why I feel that for something to be woke, there has to be harm. Now, don't go grievance seeking. Don't go looking for harm, right? But in my definition of woke, and I don't write the dictionary, I just run polls on YouTube. In my definition of woke, you take an idea like America's not cool. That you shouldn't be okay with America. And that's just a harmful idea. Or that you should be against your fellow American. How about that one? That you and your fellow Americans have so many differences that you shouldn't even try anymore. That's a harmful idea. We're still one nation. Supposedly under God, right? These words must apply to all men, or they mean nothing, what you call the E plebnista. So, yeah, I think with woke there has to be harm. Because, look, Captain America was this wholesome America kind of hero. And now they're saying don't think about America when you think about him. You know what? I won't think about America when I think about Anthony Mackie anymore. You know what? And in that apology, nowhere did he say, I'm real wealthy. America's been good to me. What is up with Anthony Mackie's brain? I was sad. Captain Crash and Burn. That was better than the two names they came up with. I gotta hand it to you. You should work in the Disney branding department. And how about those Imagineers? The Imagineers are so bad they have to go work in a windowless building to make up for it.
We will win. We will win. We will win. We won't rest. We won't rest.
Wow, StreamYard's working like shit today. Just working like shit today. Come on, Schumer, dance to the head of the pin for you.
We will win. We will win.
Look at him. He's in slow mo with the Godzilla effect.
We will win.
I'm glad it worked at the start of the show. What are you going to do? Bye, Chuck. What can I tell you? He doesn't remember the whole thing either. Is that some straight up nonsense, guys, or what? That is some nonsensical behavior. The head of the opposition in our country is a silly man. He's a silly man. The head of the opposition in our nation is a silly, silly man.
We will win. We will win.
This is supposed to be serious.
We will win. We
Okay,
won't rest. We won't
rest.
We won't
Get some, please rest.
We won't
Please take a
rest.
nap. Please take a nap. Take a nap. Please rest. Please rest. You gotta rest. Give it a rest. But I gotta say, I am not at all sure that this Captain America movie will be even any good. Falcon was a better superhero than what they're doing to him. They really messed him up. When they lose their USAID, they lost their minds. Who was getting? A lot of people were getting that. What happened? Like, whole political magazines are gone, and we found out that some of these things were being astroturfed by the government the whole time. I always had said we live in a centrist society, and that we had been pulled too far to the left by a lot of these ideas that were out there. And it seems like it's becoming more and more true, because as the pendulum swings, and right now it's a little to the right, but you know what? I think, like, American people, like, if the pendulum swinging back and forth is what we like, you know what? It's swinging. But if you think that you're going to change America and that you're going to get anywhere with this, I mean, look.
We will win. We will win. We will win. We will win. We will.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's principled opposition. That's principled opposition. This is the opposition.
Rest. We won't rest. We won't rest. We won't rest.
I love how he can't remember his 4 words here.
We will win.
Okay, so 3 words to start it out. We will win.
We will win. We will win. We will win.
So he remembers to do it 3 times. Pulls it off 3 times in a row. It's like, oh wait, I got a better idea here.
We won't rest. We won't rest. We won't rest. We won't.
God, you know what? You don't have to be a member of the opposition party to want them to at least be from this fucking planet. This guy is like a goddamn idiot. I have been plagued by his idiot thinking in the state of New York, in the city of New York, in the state of New York. He's had too much to say for too long. I want him to retire. I mean, whatever, Chuck, you had a good run. They're gonna name buildings after you at SUNY schools. For, like, time immemorial, there'll be a Charles Schumer Hall. Maybe that will be where, like, I would want honestly, if you named a building after me, I'd want it to be where the bar on campus was, right? The Rathskeller, name it that. And, like, what do you expect from a guy who puts the cheese on his burger right after putting the raw patty on? Does he eat like an idiot too? I can believe it. Yeah, Chuck Chuck the hell? You know, what the Chuck? Yeah, right? I saw him on the streets of New York City, like, and he was doing the same thing. That's all he knows how to do. It seems like he comes from the 60s. He's kind of an old hippie flower child himself. You track his age backwards, right? He was like a teenager in the 60s. So, like, I saw him at a street fair. I was walking down the street, and there he is. And that happens in New York, man. You'll run into your member of Congress, your politician. So I straight up run into Schumer. And he's just like, I'm fighting the fight. We got to fight the fight. We're fighting the fight. We fight the fight. And I said, oh my God, Senator Schumer, what's your plan for, whatever I said? And he's like, I'm going to fight the fight. And he turned around and goes, I'm fighting the fight. I'm fighting the fight. And just kept waving his fist in the air. And this is all I can do.
We will win. We will win. We will win. We will win.
3 times.
We won't rest. We won't rest. We won't rest. We won't rest.
The leader of the opposition in the United States of America is a silly man. Without reasoned opposition, our government cannot function. The Democratic Party needs to do something about these idiot leaderships. And in the House of Reps, what's going on with Discount Obama? Hakeem Jeffries, he's from New York too. You know what? Can you guys find some better ideas? I think of my life. These are my elected officials. It's not only are they like, do they have bad ideas, but they're like dumb. They're dumb too. Like Schumer might have had some good ideas 30 years ago in his first term. Look at him as a leader. That's leadership? What a disaster. Read a book on leadership. Give an inspirational speech. Watch a few episodes of TNG. Like, just take it word for word from Picard. We won't quit. Wait, what the hell is that about? I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. So I apologize on behalf of New York for the kooky Captain America movie. I'm sorry for our kooky senator. I got one more story for you guys. This one's kind of nuts. Let's get this one from mainstream media, so I don't get to at least. Biden makes a sound when he poops himself. Schumer's he's trying to sneak out farts or something like that. Like, I don't know what he's doing. Yeah, like Biden's, like, honestly, now I no longer think that they tried to foist a guy on us. I think that Schumer was like, he seems fine. I think Schumer's just that dumb. I think Schumer is dumb. Yeah, this is true. There's very little hope in America for reasoned opposition leaders. You know what? I'm not saying that I'm not out here recruiting people to be part of the opposition. I am recruiting people to like my stream. 12 is freaking great. Can I make that a goal? It sucks that the goals here are for super chats and for like levels of super chats, and it's like a time. Why can't my goal be for likes? Why can't I ask that like everyone who comes through likes the stream? That's my goal. My goal is that everybody has a good time here. I'm trying to be a good entertainer. You know what I'm saying? Like a bueno entertainer. What can I tell you? It's something that means something to me. But I've got a story for you, and it comes courtesy of the mainstream media. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. By the way, I've run into AOC on the street too, and she's only like 4 feet tall. It's weird. It's weird how short she is. It is really, really, really weird how short she is. I don't know what to tell you. She is really tiny. We're talking 4'9", 4'10". Then she's got the big bazungas. You know, I don't get it. Like ridiculous, like the flotation devices. She is absolutely maybe 85 pounds. She's tiny little China doll of a woman. She looks like she could maybe comes up to my sternum. She remembers everyone's name though. By the second or third time I ran into her, she knew who I was because, you know, for a little while there, she was repping my part of Queens, and thank God we got her out of here. And people were like, she was not doing well as a rep for this part of the city. People here didn't really particularly care for her. Not that we got it great, but check out this other story. I guess the commandant, I don't know what to call her, of the Navy, not the Navy, I'm sorry, of the Coast Guard. Of the Coast Guard. Homeland Security's officials removed Admiral Linda Fagan from her role as the Coast Guard's commandant. Ha! I had it right. According to a note sent to service members, and they gave her 3 hours to clear out her office. It was like, kind of a little bit much as far as maybe she was a respected officer, but I don't know what it was that made them want her out of there so badly. But apparently, it's just not a good day for people who are, with the past administration, and that's America, right? If you have no confidence in the people that you're replacing, then you replace their people too, because you have no confidence that they did a good job. Let's see. But MSN says Trump has repeatedly promised to get rid of the so-called woke generals and military officers who champion diversity, a pledge echoed by Pete Hegseth, the administration's pick for Pentagon chief. And I don't think he's pick anymore. I think he made it. I think he could. Does he need to be sworn in? But he's made it. I don't know. Fagan was the first female service chief of a U.S. military branch. She faced bipartisan frustrations on Capitol Hill after criticism that the Coast Guard had long mishandled sexual harassment and assault allegations. This may be true. I don't know the culture of the Coast Guard. Fagan's firing ran into immediate protest from some top Democratic lawmakers. Just because he did it day one doesn't mean he decided to do it day one. I'll just summarize some of their complaints and answer them. Contradicting government officials said the Coast Guard had exceeded recruitment goals, intercepted $2.5 billion in illegal drugs in 2024, sped up their production of icebreakers, and tried to reverse cover-ups of misconduct. Said Representative Joe Courtney, Democrat of Connecticut. Well, it's a coastal state. Maybe he knows. I don't know. The commandant who stood to clean up this mess instead of burying it should be rewarded, not dismissed. Well, if the next person continues that good work, you can change out this person too, right? Firing a commandant at will by a new president also sets a bad precedent. I don't know that the Coast Guard commandant was something that doesn't serve at the pleasure of the president to begin with. Any president can get rid of anyone they want. If they're going to continue raising eyebrows over it, we'll find out. But that's that article. I'm wondering, what are we going to see in the comments? And let me just take it down for a moment while I quickly scan these comments, because sometimes when you look at them, it brings up stuff like your actual name. And it wants my actual name, but I'm not, you can't have it. Let's see, this comment got 234 thumbs down from GC. Oddly, the article doesn't cite any dereliction of duty or incidents of consequential mistakes. So fired because Drumpf doesn't like our politics. Hope the politically appropriate replacement has demonstrably superior experience and leadership. 60 thumbs up, 234 thumbs down. That guy really got tattooed. So no one's down with that. People are, if something looks like DEI, no one wants it. And let's see some of your comments. Dwarven military women. Yeah, right. That's like, it goes back to like, actually some of the strongest Jedis are female. It's like, wait, what? The commandant. Yes, that's pretty good, Snorty. The commandant. I like that one. The Coast Guard commandant. And like, welcome to everybody. Thank you, everyone who's watching my show. I super freaking appreciate it. Try an F word that rhymes with lock. Yeah, there you go. I decided to save Star Trek tonight. The motion picture director's cut 4K. That's a great experience. You lay back on your couch, maybe you smoke a joint or something like that, and you just kind of watch this great soundtrack and this movie, the 4K final remaster, the final one where they show you the V'ger ship. Just, it feels like a journey completed. Schultz! I know nothing.
We will win. We will win. We will win.
You are a silly man. I can't believe this is for the government to function properly. Does anyone want the opposite? I mean, I realize that no one wants the opposition ideas, right? But do we want an opposition with ideas this stupidly led? Wouldn't it be great if the opposition party had reasonable ideas and was well led? And we could say, well, I don't like the opposition because they're the opposition. Their ideas are good for America, and most of their methods, while I don't agree with them, I like this, and this because I bothered to look at it. This behavior that we're seeing from people in the opposition, It looks childish. This looks childish. Look at this. I mean, come on.
We will win. We will win. We will win. We will win.
And he forgets his own stupid slogan.
We won't rest.
Do you understand
We
how badly
won't
led it
rest.
is here?
We
It
won't
is not easy to live in the state of New York. Swishy Schumer may just win some jail time, says Radioactive. Radioactive, you might be right. You know what? He's not accused of anything as far as I know. I make no allegation as a good little journalist, because I'm a better little journalist than the people from the mainstream media who wrote that weird article. But I will say this, they allowed for these comments, and the number one let's see some of these replies. Fired because you supported DEI, which has to be purged from the military before it completely destroys it. 100 thumbs up, 30 thumbs down. I agree with this person who said this too. And I agree with the 100 thumbs up. Jim J., you need to go back and see who Biden fired when he first took office. You can complain how he did it first. Wow. Then there's someone says, you're exactly right. This is a retribution move by a petty and vindictive little man. He's 6'4". 35 up, 91 down. Wow. MSN, which is not MSNBC, is just, Microsoft. People don't like Bill Gates. People don't like, these are even the people who can forgive Bill Gates to the point where they'll read this. They even aren't down with it. They aren't even down with it. It seems like it's going to be an ongoing problem in our society. Sadly, what we're going to have is this is our opposition.
We will win. We will win. We will win.
Glitching. His brain is fucking glitching.
We will win. We won't rest. We won't rest. We won't.
You guys like the news clip? You guys like the little news clip? It wasn't that hard to get, but it's just like you gotta understand. There's so much reading of terms of service that goes into this, and I'm not about to give away how I'm able to use news clips without getting in trouble. There are some that are easier to use than others, and people have to figure it out by themselves. But you know what? This channel, I worked all day today to get you guys some good stuff. And if you're a channel member, I think that you'll find some enjoyable stuff has been created. I hope that people like the new member video that I made. And I'm going to take a quick stop by my studio. And first of all, I also to thank the 2,140 of you who have joined with me. I really, really appreciate that. It was great. If you're a channel member, there's a channel member video. Don't watch it now, but maybe you want to put it in your queue to play later. Like I said, I give my origin tale, and I talk a little bit about the fire that I was in and how that happened. But here's the thing. I didn't make this one clear. I didn't get burned. I did get a huge dose of smoke, so I do not look like an Iron Maiden album cover from that experience, but it was getting close. It was close. It was either I was going to be totally okay or I was going to be not going to make it at all. There was not going to be any middle ground. Sometimes fires are like that. It was really, really, really frightening. But there's a member video. Go put it in your queue for next. It's only 3.5 minutes long. Like I said, I don't want to waste your time with the member videos. I don't want to tell you anything that's, irrelevant or boring. Where I'm coming from, if you're a member of the channel community, that's kind of cool. And I take you on another subway ride. So if you're one of those people who likes trains, or if you've never been to New York City and you want to see what it's like to take a subway ride, take a subway ride with me. That's my member chats, my channel member sort of thing. When I do my channel member videos, I don't know if I'll do everyone like that, but let's hop on the subway together, have a talk. It's like kind of a New York thing. So I wanted to do something that was in keeping with, me, and give you guys a chance to see something that maybe you haven't seen before. Like, I know a lot of people have been to New York, but a lot of people simply haven't seen the subway. And, you can count yourself lucky, but the point is a lot of people haven't seen our subway. Someone finally does want me to see Captain America. It looks like there's no interest. The thing is, all right, it's 10 votes, so we know it's not. There's no way this is going to come back. So let's see. Let's try to get interaction up. I love it. Let me see. Here's the different question, same topic. And what happens if I go see it and it's great, right? Would a Captain America review be good for the channel? I wonder. That's it, because this is a different question. And we'll give you two forms of yes. Yes, testimonial. Yes, video essay. No, it won't. And we'll add one more option. I want to thank everyone who's liked the stream. You guys are the best. All right, so here's a second poll for you. I don't know how much longer I'll be here. We're getting close to that witching hour. It's not imminent. It's not imminent. Nerdpoil's here. You voted yes. I mean, yeah. The last poll, the results were, and they're so weird. It's so weird how this one works. I have to take it out of there and put it into the StreamYard so they can highlight it. So here we go. Now I can highlight it. Hello, Nerdpoil. It's good to see you, buddy. The votes were, do you want me to see Captain Un-America? 89%. No, Nerdpoil is the yes vote. You're mean. You're a meanie. You know what? I'm glad you got control of that X situation. The reason why you and I couldn't think of a question that only you would be able to answer. So when I went to your channel, your X was still the old X, Nerdpoil. So I was afraid to move on the old account only because I was afraid that the new account could still be someone trolling you. So like I just stepped back and waited. So God forbid that ever happens again. Thank you. It's a case for two-step verification if I ever heard it. But I'm glad you got that under control. Guys, Nerdpoil Lifeform is great. He's one of the channels I recommend on my channel. If you go down to the bottom of the page on my main page, you'll see that the Nerdpoil Lifeforms channel is recommended right there. But I'll drop it into the chat for you for the moment so that you can just get right to it. Here it is. Nerdpoil's great. He's a colleague. He's not really like a competitor. He's always been really gracious. We're on at the same time a lot, and he's still really nice to me. Everyone's saying hello. Yes, close to the edge. He might not even be that tall. He's right around, yeah, maybe he is about a half inch to an inch shorter than me, maybe. But it's why they won't run him for president, right? The tallest cat. By the way, it still happens. It's like a tautology. Since the invention of television, a taller candidate has won every single election. See, I mean, I guess you should not run a woman, and if the other side runs a woman, run Lamar. Just be like, Lamar, you want to be president? We got this. You're like a foot and a half taller than the other candidate. You're going to win. So, like really, no interest in me seeing Captain Un-America. But we have the other question is whether or not people think it would be good for the channel. And I wonder about that one. But you know what? God, that was terrible. But hey, guess this took a couple of minutes to work this one out. Here's my Hollywood rumor thing that I did. Check this out. Hey. Oh well, it's cool stuff, but StreamYard's is working like crap tonight, so throwing video up there, it just doesn't work. It's absolutely a problem. Let's try. We will fight. See, it's just not working. I can't believe it, man. I got to kick Shumi from the studio. You know what, man? You need to learn how to fight and win. Or at least express yourself like a freaking articulate person and not some kind of a maroon. I'm a little tired of the maroonness here. I mean, can we get some elected officials who aren't dumb? You know, at least in the state of New York here, I'm talking. In my state, we got a problem, like with dumbness. Like, it's dumb. It's so dumb here. It's so dumb here. By the way, guys, another great thing you can do if you have a wrench, if you see another YouTuber in the chat that I'm talking to them, you can harvest their link. That helps too. We're trying to just get the community ready to be a 10,000 member community. We passed 2 grand. We're past 2,100. We're almost at 2,150, and I owe it all to you, fantastic people. Take advantage of it. Help me out. Help me make this the best place we can. We will Weiner. We will Weiner. Oh man, Anthony Weiner didn't end up becoming mayor of New York, but I think Andrew Cuomo will. Not the one for the news, the one who used to be governor. I think he'll be mayor because everyone really dislikes Eric Adams. If anyone gives anyone, listen, it's either going to be a Republican or he's going to get primaried out. And Eric Adams is just a disaster. Whatever he says to you, don't believe him. You have to remember that he is one of the wokest, weirdest, wildest DEI guy. He is the DEI mayor. He's America's DEI mayor. He did not win that election. He failed to lose. And yeah, Snorty is pretty funny. That's why I love that when we have all these people here. Snorty, you're invited to every show. We're here Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7:30. We take a look into the news a little bit on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Sometimes on Tuesdays I have guests. Thursdays it's mostly me, one-on-one with you guys. And I might just, don't make me do it. Don't make me do it. I might show up tomorrow. Because it would be fun and because I like hanging out with you guys and because I could have just a couple of bullet points and simply spend my time speaking with you guys rather than just doing the usual thing. But it's so great to have you here, and it's so great to have this many people watching the show. It's amazing. I don't know what to tell you except that I'll be back. We have a great Enterprise watch party on Saturday for the episode A Night in Sick Bay. In this one, Porthos gets a little sick. It's a good one. I forget what the B plot is. I'm looking forward to watching it tomorrow. I'm behind. Just a silly old bear. Normally the host has to approve ones to promote, the other ones I have modded for. As far as the modding, Doomcock's people are really on it, but he has like mod meetings before every show, I've been told, and so I don't expect that one. But like I said, like Culture Casino has like 5 to 8 mods, and he has like 20 to 30. Now, he passed 30 grand? Congratulations, Culture, doing great. And you know what? Way to go. But when we still have like 20. I didn't really want to do it, but it wasn't working. It was a disincentive, and we've been doing better since I changed that. So YouTube seems to read into it. What can I tell you? The host has to approve the ones to promote. I approve Nerdpoil Lifeform, but you don't have to put that link in there so much as I already, for one I did it, and 2, he's recommended right on the channel. He's a great colleague, and he has good material. He's a little further ahead of me than on stuff like he actually bothered to read the Dune books. I guess I should. That's like, which one should I bother with? Should I read Dune or should I just go back there and read more Tolkien? It's hard to say, but let's take a look at our poll again for a moment and see where that one's at. See, look, would Captain America review be good for the channel? The same people who don't want me to see it do think that it would be good for the channel, and even just a testimonial style. And then 14% say it won't help. No one wants a video essay. Okay, thanks for that one. I appreciate it. Captain America needs to be considered. This is only at 7 votes, but it's an interesting question for the channel. The same people who didn't want me to see it do see a case for the idea that it would be good for the channel. You guys understand. I love having you guys as kind of partners in this creative endeavor where we do this crazy YouTube thing together and we try to have a good time. And I try to show you the best building in the city. But, it's like when I show you buildings, I'm not showing you my best anymore. I'm not showing you the World Trade Center. I'm not showing you. the Empire State Building. There we go. There's the Empire State Building. Guys, it's a beautiful building. And well, I don't want to hear it about this alternate Manhattan. They didn't render such a great alternate Manhattan in that Fantastic Freaking Four video. Dave, you get a split? It was good to see you. Have a great night, Dave. I hope you're feeling well, and I'll catch up to you tomorrow. We'll talk about that thing we've been talking about. Dave C is a great guy, and I hope he has a good night. Let's see. Cool. Thank you. I love seeing all the people in green. Now I can feel the accomplishment of it, and people can see some return on what they did for me. So I think that, you know, we're gonna, if you want to be a mod, DM me. We will start doing things to incentivize modding, but like the modding has to happen, right? Like I can't just give them away for loyalty to people that much anymore, because also I'll say it again. Unfortunately, the thing is too, it makes you guys look a little bad. You guys look a little bad when people come in and like, look at these lazy mods. They don't even want to say hi to me. Like that. It's not actually, when I thought about it, I wasn't doing you any favors either. And that was what made the decision easier. I didn't feel great about doing it, but the thing is, people seem to understand, and you guys want what's best for the channel. And that might mean that although you don't want me to see it, wow, it's now up to 8 votes. If we can get to 11, you guys really, it's fun. Like we have this great relationship here. You guys encourage me, and you guys pay for a lot of my expenses. This channel last month was a major difference maker. This economy has not been very good for me. It's been good for some people, and if you're up, you're up. I'm happy for you. I'm not like going to end up on the street, but this is a huge difference maker. It made the pleasant things that I had in life last month came from the channel members. I thank you from the bottom of my heart, from my little coal-like heart. That tiny lump of coal of heart that I have, I thank you. And 9 votes in 11 minutes. Would a Captain America review be good for the channel? Yes. A testimonial, say 56%. Yes. Video essay says absolutely no one. And no, it won't help. No, don't do it. Almost half of you say don't bother. No, 22% of you are wonderful people who just wanted to like the stream, and I can't thank you enough for that. Wow. It's a likable stream, isn't it? It's a likable stream. And I just want to say, I got zapped for the show with Fletcher just because we told the truth again. And that's the way it's just going to have to be. Demonetized because of Carla Sofia Bascone. Carla Sofia Bascone. Man, for a minute there, it looked like she was just like a weirdo who had some ideas that like didn't fit in with her other ideas. That like her ideas were essentially kind of like relatively relatable, like maybe just like whether you agree with them or not, like about like immigration into our nation and stuff like that. But then we heard like the really like the horrible language and stuff like that, and you know, like just the like really fucked up terms, and you can dislike people without being despicable about it, and like I assigning whole groups pejoratives, that I can't abide by that unless it's a group made up of volunteers, like the people who volunteered to be in jail for murder. Like maybe 1 or 2 of them were framed, but for the most part, like, you know, oh hey, never left, welcome. Hell, and it's good to see you, buddy. I'm sorry, buddy. I didn't mean to insult you. I just, if you people who want the wrenches back could have them, DM me. I want to make it people's choice. I want people to have a decision in this one. It didn't look good for anybody to have that many wrenches. It just didn't. People were actively complaining to me about it. These are the 2 things that I addressed that people didn't want. Like I said, if you had a wrench and you want one back and you understand the new conditions and the new incentives, DM me and we'll talk about it and it can be done. If you're not on board with the new terms and the new conditions, yeah, it doesn't really, it's not good for you. It's not good for me. Now, people who want a mod, I do want mods in a mod community. And for people who don't, you know, we have a chance to start over now. So if you want it, DM me or say so, and show me that you want it, and we can make that happen. It's when people were giving them just to list their channels and stuff like that. It was a courtesy, but then like I'm not going to say the courtesy wasn't returned because I didn't ask for anything, but I developed and this is all my fault. It's on me. I developed what looked like just like an indifferent. Okay, yeah. You know what? DM me though. I got to say this. I like having the mods, but also it's wonderful to see the results of people's gifting, and like thank you for the giftings. Look at all these people in green that wouldn't otherwise be, and it's like it's rippled throughout the chat. And let me see if I could pull like look at this. There's so many people in green, and it's a good feeling, and it shows the impact it has on the channel, and that's always a good thing. There's like I said, there's a member video. I put some effort into this one, and I did some research. My member stream, I guarantee you this: stay for the song. Come for the song, stay for the story. The story is a little longer than the song, but I don't think that anyone's done a membership video quite like the one you'll see from me. It's different. It's kind of something, and I hope you enjoy it. And I'm glad that you guys all understand about the thing with the modding. It kind of has to be that way, for now. And some of you will become mods, and this channel gets bigger. But can you believe that? Like dinged, and given a warning, not really a warning, but like given a little slap on the wrist for the show with Fletcher, simply because we talked about things outright and because we were plain spoken. And you know what? I think that's a damn shame, and I think it's a disgrace on behalf of the people at YT. But you know what? It's not up to me. I don't get to make that decision. And you know what? They're not overly cool with the way I would want this run. But you know what? Over there on the green band, how you doing? People feeling good and green? How many likes I got myself? Radioactive is over on the green band where he's making some noise. How many likes we got here? 2? Can we get a few more? 2's not bad though. I'm gonna have some fun with those fun emojis on the other band. There's all sorts of fun. They got their emoji game is great. Their emoji game is great. They are great with the emojis. They also like this weird air gun. It's orangish, and they don't give you like a holster, but it's a real enough looking gun that I cannot show you the screen from. I just can't. I can't show you the screen from the green band. And let's see. So confused. It's almost bedtime. Oh, yeah, I get that way too, and I'm tired. And I start getting tired early. I'm just like, I must be real old now because I wake up at like the crack of dawn no matter what. Yes, same here. Friday, I have to work. Look forward to that. I have work to look forward to. It's Friday. I have work to look forward to. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, guys, but for most of us, it's the end of our week. It's Friday. You pretty much made it. You just have to get through tomorrow, and then we'll have our weekend. And let's see how people are feeling about our poll. It's been a fun show. Let's see. Yes, testimonial. One person is chiming in for a video essay. No, it won't help. 20%. And 20% of all 100% of you 10 wonderful, amazing people voted to simply see the results and like the stream. I love you all. You guys are the best for that one. Let me see. Let me take a look at a couple of things out here. Did you guys hear about the Crocodile Dundee thing? Have you noticed also I'm dropping my voice. I'm using my New York accent more now. I'm just going to talk like me. I did my best. I tried my best to have a neutral American accent, and I'll do that. I can do that most of the time, but you know what? We all know each other now. The New York accent comes out more, and I drop my voice into my regular accent for the whole membership videos. I talk to you as myself. I'm still myself, and Critical Drinker said this too. Like, what was the key to your success? He's like, well, I didn't really like the job, but for a while there, I was a help center guy. And when people would call me, I had to learn how to neutralize my accent just a bit so I could be understood because people were confused and I wouldn't be able to lose my job. And I do consciously exert a little bit of effort to be understood. It's not a great deal, but it's, a little bit of effort. And that's, a couple of drinks and it's gone. I'm like, hey, what the fuck? A couple of drinks and I have absolutely no ability to control the New York accent. But, you know what's funny? In New York, people ask me where I'm from. And then when I leave New York, people are like, oh, you're from New York. I had this waitress the other day. She's so hot, dude. She was like, I just love your accent. And I'm like, Oh, thanks. Like, I don't know, like, when we hang out, what I'm going to tell her about, like, where my accent's from. Because I was like, where are you from? She's like, I'm from around here. You know, how about you? It's like, all over the place. Right? You don't mess up a good thing like that. Let's see. I think testimonial and then a discussion review with a couple of others on stream would be cool for engagement. I'll have to find other people who are willing to see it. If I go see it, I might have some opportunities. But here's the thing. I'll just say it. The prolonged flame war that happened with some people behaving badly, and a lot of them still won't leave me alone, it really messed up my ability to network. When I go network somewhere, that person pays a price. Outlaw Bill got harassed by the people who don't like me. He didn't deserve it. He just was my friend. All I did was go there to call football games with my friend and have a good time. And he got harassed for it by people. And that wasn't cool. And when I was at Dave C's channel hanging out, the same people came there and harassed us again, gainsaying, saying stupid fucking things, asking one stupid fucking question after another, being assholes. So the thing is, a lot of other YouTubers have been proactively sabotaging what I do. So my ability to interact with and be on panels with other people, you got to be big and you got to be brave. Like Bolt the Word doesn't give a fuck. He's cool. He doesn't give a fuck. He'll have me on, and he doesn't care. But a lot of other people, like I've heard from people, and I won't name names, but they're YouTubers that you know and you like, who've said, I'm afraid to have you on because Time Travel Asshole and his friends are so loud and crazy and abusive and insane. And I just don't want to absorb the weeks and weeks and weeks or the permanent gaze of these fucking lunatics. Lunatics. And karmic disbelief insaner. Just leave me the fuck alone, dick. Anyway, the thing is, networking's a little hard because these people persistently go, and what they do is they sell protection. They say, it's a nice channel you got here. It'd be a shame if everybody heard you were a POS because you're friends with Teague. And then that's it. I have been to other channels where they've said, there's so much noise here that even though we invited you as a guest, please don't look at the chat at all, and we'll handle that. And that's a terrible thing to hear. And also, like, if I try to promote another YouTuber, people descend on and harass them. Now, it might be that you just don't make it to 2,100 subs without making a few enemies, but it's surprising how prolifically resilient I've been. All I've done to the people who have stalked and bothered me was, one, put on 1,400 more subscribers than the one who's the most persistent stalker. And right now, one of the problems is this. Although a lot of the people who were involved in the sabotage and the stalking have said they were wrong and have said they would stop, that was all done privately. There's been no public making of amends. The damage has been done. So the people, like, you know, it's going to take a while before people realize that you can have me on and not pay a price for it. And that you can be my friend and not be harassed. But for the first 2.5 years of my YouTube career, and continuing now with a couple of certain parties, fucking snowbilly scumbags, continuing to this point, we've had a problem with reputational sabotage. And with paying off on what's called selling protection. You go and you threaten the other channel with problems if they help me out. And then ultimately, when they don't help me out, it's because they don't want to have problems. And people have said this to me, like, I'm afraid to be harassed if I help you out. So being on a panel with other people, it's going to have to be a testimonial on my own. So let that, most likely, don't worry about it, man. It's no big deal, but that's just the way it is. That Sheila is a guy. It's a man, baby. Could you imagine how quickly canceled that movie would be today? Could you imagine? I watched the movie Major League. That's true, John. New York has several accents. Like, for instance, I think that not Yellow Flash. It's a Gundam. I think he's from the Bronx. And when I talked to Mark D with a C, is he maybe from Staten Island? Is he maybe from downstate, upstate? Is he from maybe Poughkeepsie or something like that? Is he from like southern Mount Vernon, Sleepy Hollow, like that area? Like, I can tell your New York accent. I can tell you, New York. It's all right. Don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. It's a New York accent, right? Come on. And you know what? I already apologized for my hometown. We will win. We will fight. We will win. I don't know what the hell they're thinking of, but it was a crazy show of just weirdness by Senator Schumer. What are you gonna do? That was weird stuff. I mean, for those of you who aren't here, I got to share this one more time because he's such a fool.
We will win. We will win. We will win. We won't rest. We won't rest. We won't rest. We won't.
Hey everybody, it's my pal Lance from the Outcasts Creative. He's got a great channel which is also recommended here at the bottom of my YouTube page. And I've been looking at his great book, Silver Screen Journeys. Looked at it for a little bit today, and I'm gonna think my approach now is I'm gonna look for stuff that I myself have seen and read those movies first. But Lance is popping by to say hi. I always like to say hi to Lance, and it's a long name to write, so I'm just gonna write Lance's channel, and it's the Outcast Creative. I even messed up doing that. Ignore that. I'll fix it. Lance, it's good to see you, man. How's it going? I didn't watch my favorite show today, Open Bar. Were you on it? I'm going to have to check that out later. I was late on that one. I was running behind today, and I had to write when I usually watch. But like that show, the rewatchability is high, and I watch every minute of it. And then later on during the week when he releases the highlights, I watch the highlights because that's the kind of thing I like to do. I keep messing that up. Please subscribe to Lance's channel if you haven't already. He's almost up to 5,000. He's past 5,000. He's going for 6. And Mark's up in the Connecticut area. All right, so that is like he has the north of Manhattan accent. So there are parts of Connecticut that are like an hour or less from New York, maybe 45 minutes, 50 minutes by train. So Connecticut has got parts where people commute to the city. Here's the thing: 30 million people are in Manhattan on a weekday. This never ceases to amaze me and still remains true year after year after year after year. And I finally was able to spell the name Lance right. There's an accomplishment. Greetings to you too, Lance. How do you like the fact that it took me three tries to spell your name right? Dyslexia. The man's name is only 5 letters long. Man, it's amazing I spell mine correctly. I got to tell you. So anyway, those were our stories for tonight. I hope you enjoyed the show. Do me a favor. I'm going to put something in the chat. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to put some secret information. Okay, I'm almost done. And I want to thank Vex's mod for telling me about this one. This is a good thing you guys can do to help me out. This helps me out. See that? I don't want to say it, but you know what to do. When your pal Admiral Teague ends his show, you'll know what to do. You'll know what to do. All right. Listen, you guys have earned this in a couple of different ways. So let's do it. Let's go full. They say never go full Sydney Sweeney. I'm going to go full Sydney Sweeney. Here we go. Ooh, hello. You know what? No one wants to see my comment. But people are interested. Help Lance. Look, Lance, I put your branding right where everyone could see it. But, Lance is a great show. Please subscribe to his channel. They're doing The Shield. And I hope Lance will come back and help me do Band of Brothers, at least a couple of episodes. Currahee in the pipeline coming up. I think that you guys should check out my other channel. If you don't know about it, I'm going to be advertising it a little more on X. And maybe there'll be a community post about it. I'm thinking about coming by tomorrow to see all you great people and talk to you a little more. But for now, you have so earned Sydney Sweeney. You have so earned. Oh, Jason Love, man. That's some beautiful spamming. That is some beautiful spamming, man. Let's get those spamming up. That's spamming up to 13 votes. We will finish the voting before we end the show. You know what? Let's take a moment and hear from George Lucas about what he wants for the future of Star Wars. Here he is speaking when he still wasn't a freaking idiot, not making as much of a fool of himself as he does now when he talks. But all right, here we go.
Do you want the Star Wars trilogy and the mythology to go beyond your lifetime?
No. 3 will be the last film, and it'll be a 6-part series, and that'll be the end of it.
Incorrect.
You're
not mentoring someone to take over for you?
No, it's
Automatic defense procedures initiated.
There may be other venues for it, but not in the theatrical release.
Affirmative.
I don't want to have it just sort of turn into Star Trek. I don't want to have it just sort of turn into Star Trek.
I don't know. It might actually be worse than modern Star Trek right now. It's so hard to say. But you know what? Let's close out this poll. 14 votes. It's quite scientific. How would a Captain on America review be good for the channel? 57% say yes, testimonial style. 7% say yes, video essay, and 21% say no, it won't help, and 14% say like and see results. You are all wonderful people. And with that, I end the poll. I hereby declare this voting closed, and you guys are the best. And you know what? Let's get the final dose of Sydney Sweeney of the night. But before I go, I want to say Saving Star Trek is brought to you by the genius of Gene Roddenberry, as is Teague's Intense Talk Show is brought to you by the genius of Admiral Teague, who's a kooky idiot who tweets too much, and by the support of members like Jason Love, the Jason Love Foundation, the house that Love built. This is the channel that Love helped to build. We all live in the house that Jason Love helped build when we watched Admiral Teague videos. Give the membership video a shot, and come on, guys, rescue my video. Rescue my video. Rescue the video for yesterday's Enterprise. It deserves better. It deserves better. And you know what? Now, gotta end things.
Because I can.
I love you all, and thank you for being here, and I thank you all for being members of the channel. This show is for you. We will go on Saving Star Trek. We're going to have some great stuff coming up for you, and you live long and prosper too, guys. Here we go. Goodbye. See you on Friday. If not, I'll be back on Saturday at 9:30 p.m. for Saving Star Trek. We will watch the episode Night in Sickbay of Star Trek Enterprise Season 2, Episode 4. And then I will be back possibly for a talk show hangout tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see how I feel. I love you all, and I'll see you soon.
The word decent doesn't apply to me.
Doesn't anyone see that this is wrong?